What's with older people and jumping into conclusions? Because tell me why this young girl was confronted simply for saying, I don't know you. So one day my mom called me from my room. As per our gist partner now. Come, let me gist you. I ran out sharp sharp. Me really like gist as they hot. There's this girl that comes to make her hair in my compound. Let's call her Sandra. One of my neighbor's daughter, let's call her Shade, just came back from school, running with obvious excitement. Hi Sandra. Sandra looked at her and was like, do I know you? Why are you greeting me? Ah, Shade was angry. I felt really embarrassed, so she left. Next thing you know, the three women, including the one making her hair, started shouting at Sandra. Why are you talking to her like that? Don't you know she will feel embarrassed? You're too proud. I'll report it to your mother. Sandra just sat there. She didn't even say anything. So I'm listening to this story and I'm wondering how. How come none of these three adults bothered to ask the obvious question? Why? Why did Sandra respond like that? By the way, these girls usually play together whenever they meet. So how come nobody said, wait, what happened? Are you two quarreling? So after Sandra finished her hair, guess what? They were playing again. Problem solved, right? Yeah, that's what we thought. Later, another girl, let's call her Ada, called Sandra from her balcony. They decided to meet at the gate just to say hi. Harmless, right? Sandra goes and asks Shade to come with her, but Shade refused. So Sandra went alone, says hi to Ada, and comes back. Now, for whatever reason, Shade was angry and told Sandra that they were no longer friends. And she was not joking. Sandra was totally confused. All I did was to go and say hi to a friend. What have I done this time? And that's when it hit me. My suspicions must have been right. Something similar must have happened before. Shade must have said something similar to Sandra that made her to respond that way. Now, this is to everyone, especially adults. Let's learn to pay a little bit more attention. If those women had just not assumed and termed her proud and rude simply because her parents are rich, maybe they would have not missed such an obvious question. Dear adults, I know that it's easy to conclude, maybe because we've seen similar behaviors, but we need to know that life is not always black and white. In fact, most times life is grey, and it's only when you take a moment to listen, to pay a little bit more attention, that we'll be able to read these words in grey. We'll be able to hear those unspoken words. Have you ever been in a situation where adults completely misunderstood you? Let's hear your experience in the comments. And if this opened your eyes like it did to mine, hit the subscribe button because I've got more real stories with true lessons. Until next time.